Okay, so another topic about leadership, communication, and executive presence, no? Building trust, influence, and credibility in the Philippine public sector. Leadership, communication, and executive presence are critical no, capabilities for leaders who seek to build trust, influence, and credibility within their organizations and the broader public sector. Effective leadership, communication goes beyond the delivery of information. It involves clarity of message, consistency of values, and the ability to engage diverse audiences. Executive presence, on the other hand, reflects how leader project confidence, competence, and integrity through their words, actions, and demeanor. No, so these competences shape how leaders are perceived and determine their ability to mobilize people toward shared goals. In our country, specifically in public sector, where leaders interact with multiple stakeholders such as employee, citizen, oversight bodies, and partner institutions, strong communication and executive presence are especially important. Leaders are often required to explain policies, manage crises, and represent their organization in formal and informal setting. When communication is transparent and presence is grounded in authenticity, leaders are more likely to earn public trust and sustain credibility. These skills therefore play a vital role in strengthening governance, improving service delivery, and fostering a culture of professionalism in public institutions. At this point, may I request our president to please play the video presentation who discuss the key principles, strategies, and practical application of leadership communication and achieving presence in the Philippine public sector. Sige, sir.
Good morning, classmates and Doc Abante. Today, I will be discussing the topic leadership communication and executive presence and how this is important in building trust, influence, and credibility in the Philippine public sector. In the public sector, leadership is highly visible. Every press conference, memo, or public address can influence public trust, employee morale, and policy compliance. So, in the Philippine setting, where government institutions deal with disasters, public health, poverty alleviation, and infrastructure, leadership communication and executive presence can literally save lives, protect stability, and inspire cooperation. Leadership today is not just about technical competence, but it is about connection, credibility, and confidence. Our goal is not just to define terms, but to understand how these concepts operate in real leadership situations, especially in government offices or LGUs, state universities, and national agencies. So, what is leadership communication? Leadership communication is not simply public speaking, but it includes how leaders write, speak, listen, negotiate, and respond under pressure. In the Philippine public sector, this may involve 1. Explaining policies, 2. Justifying budget decisions, 3. Addressing community concerns, and 4. Communicating during emergencies. Effective leadership communication creates alignment, clarity, and confidence. So basically, leadership communication is not just about talking more or public speaking, but it is about being understood. Having your message um, be recognized or understood by your audience or your fellow subordinates. So, what are the core elements of leadership communication? Filipino public servants, like us, deal with diverse stakeholders, from barangay officials to national agencies, from farmers to business groups. A leader must communicate clearly but also humanely. Technical explanations alone are not enough. People want to know, do you understand our struggles? Can we trust you? Are you leading us somewhere meaningful? So those questions are important in order for us to know that if that leader is an effective leader. So we often see leadership communication tested during national disasters. Mayors and governors are expected to brief the public, direct rescue operations, address rumors and misinformation. So leaders who communicate poorly, they create panic and distrust. And leaders who communicate well, they create order, cooperation, and hope. So this shows that communication is not an accessory to leadership, but it is leadership itself. So an example is this local government crisis communication. So during typhoons and earthquakes, local government unit leaders, they must give the following, like give timely warnings so that people will know um, what are they going to expect and what is necessary for them to prepare. Then coordinate with agencies. So the leader must know how to communicate with the people that they are covering or they are leading. They should be calm with public fear. They should explain government actions, why these actions are necessary for them to create a peaceful and harmonious relationship with their people, then reassure communities. So good leadership communication shows a calm tone and clear instructions. So, aside from leadership communication, we have this executive presence. So, what is executive presence? Executive presence is often described as the it factor of leadership. So, it is what people sense when a leader enters the room. Before you even speak, this presence alone gives you an authority to the people around you. So, do they appear trustworthy? Do they seem capable? Do they inspire confidence? In government, executive presence is critical because authority comes not only from law, but from legitimacy and moral credibility. So, before you even speak, your executive presence is what people believe that you have this leadership. So, move forward. So what are the components of executive presence? First is gravitas. So gravitas is especially important in the public sector. Leaders must handle criticism, media pressure, and political conflict without emotional collapse. So executive presence is reflected in how leaders sit in meetings, how they answer difficult questions, how they treat their subordinates, and how they handle mistakes. Aside from that, another core component of executive presence is communication, being clear about what you want to say, being persuasive to engage people or your subordinates to follow you and why they should follow you, and have a composed delivery. So when you have this composed delivery, clear, there is clarity, and you're persuasive, there's a higher chance that your subordinates or those that you lead will be confident to follow you because you have a direction or a vision. Another one is appearance and conduct. So how you present yourself, your body language, your demeanor, and your professionalism. So Philippine public sector example of executive presence, consider the president of a state university or a bureau director. Their presence influences faculty morale, public trust. The public will trust you because you have this kind of leadership presence that they can depend on. Political relationships will be much more stronger because your fellow uh, even your enemies or political if ever you're not the same political um, beliefs, they will still respect you. They might not trust you, but they will respect you because of your executive presence. Another one is institutional reputation. So executive presence here is not about luxury or status. It is about emotional intelligence, ethical bearing, and professional credibility. So, leadership communication and executive presence, how they work together. First is that leadership communication, it delivers content or the content. like what you say, what is your message and your strategy, and how it is delivered. It's either verbal or written. And then executive presence delivers confidence in the leader. So how you are perceived, your impression to the people, how people see you as credible, and your behavior, if and also behavioral and emotional. So how you deliver your message. You can have good words, but without executive presence, people may not follow. You can have presence, but without communication, people will be confused. Strong leaders develop both. So that is why leadership, communication, executive presence should work together as one. So, common public sector leadership challenges. So, challenges in the Philippine public sector. Public sector leaders operate in a highly sensitive environment. A single statement can affect 1. Investor confidence, 2. Public cooperation, 3. International reputation, and 4. Community stability. So that is why leadership communication and executive presence are not optional, but they are core leadership competencies. So common public sector leadership challenges are bureaucratic complexity, public distrust, political pressure, media scrutiny, crisis and disaster response, diverse stakeholders. These are mostly common what we can see in the Philippines. There are lots of examples about this, but yeah, so that is why leadership communication executive presence is important, because you are leading a group of people that have entrusted you and have voted you uh, to do your task well. So developing leader communication. Leadership communication can be developed. Some people are probably might be born with it, but if not, it can be developed and learned. So it requires intentional practice, mentoring, and self-awareness. Leaders must not only inform, but they should also inspire, explain, negotiate, and reassure. So how public leaders can improve? First, through communication training, stakeholder engagement, active listening, media and crisis simulations, feedback mechanisms, and reflective leadership practice. So, aside from leadership communication, you can also develop your executive presence. Executive presence is not about pretending. So, fake it till you make it, right? But no, it is about becoming a leader worthy of trust. So, how it grows? It grows from integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing without other people, without the you call this without other people seeing. So you yourself know that you are doing the right thing regardless if there is a recognition or an acknowledgement from other people. Second is accountability. So accountability is also important. You know what are your responsibilities. You take accountability to it. It's either you might probably have done right, or you might probably have done wrong, but you take accountability with the results or the feedback of the people. There is emotional stability. Emotional stability is knowing when to control your emotions despite the public pressure and the problems. Then respect for others, of course. That is very important regardless of your title, your gender, your status, your background. Executive presence, having respect for others. You do unto others what you would like others do unto you. So, having those, you can develop executive presence. So, it is not built daily. I mean, it is not displayed occasionally, but it is done daily through practice. So, another one, another, what you call this, another factors on how you can build executive presence is through emotional intelligence, ethical consistency, stress management, professional discipline, self-reflection or self-awareness, and also mentorship and coaching. So, Here are our key takeaways from leadership communication and executive presence. Leadership in the Philippine public sector is deeply personal and deeply political. The way leaders communicate can carry themselves influences not just in the offices, but the entire communities and generations. As future leaders and public servants, these are competencies we must consciously develop because leadership communication and executive presence are not only professional tools, but they are personal responsibilities. So, with this, I end my report with a quote: leadership is not a title, it is a daily communication of character. So, thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned something or have taken something from this report. Thank you, and God bless.
Claudine, tapos na po. Claudine?
Okay, so thank you so much, no? Uh, the presentation highlights the effect that effective leadership communication start with clarity and purpose. Leader must be clear about their goals, priorities, and expectation to ensure that messages are understood and aligned across the organizations. No? And the discussion also emphasized executive presence as a combination of confidence, emotional intelligence, and professional conduct. So executive presence is reflected in how leaders speak, listen, and respond under pressure. Leaders who remain composed and respectful during challenging situations inspire confidence among their teams and stakeholders. And this presence reinforces authority without relying on positional power alone. Another important point is is the influence of non-verbal communication in context. No, body language, tone of voice, and attentiveness significantly affect how messages are received. Leaders who are aware of cultural norms and organizational dynamics can adjust their communication style accordingly. And this adaptability enhances influence and helps leaders connect more effectively with diverse audiences. The presentation underscore that leadership communication and executive presence are skills that can be developed through practice and reflection. So continuous learning, feedback, and self-awareness no, enable leaders to refine how they communicate and present themselves. So in the context of the Philippine public sector, strengthening these competencies contributes to more credible leadership, stronger institution, and improved public service outcomes. Okay?